Where to even begin on this one? Oh my God. I'm not down off the high yet from the way that game finished. Um, and I may not be for a few days because that's how it goes. Uh, like I said in the in my reaction thing I was doing, that was the most miraculous win since the Minneapolis Miracle. Now I kind of forgot about the Denver game last year, which I shouldn't have because I was there. But like even that was, you know, they had made their comeback and they held on. This was just this happened so fast. I can't get over how fast everything happened at the end of that game because what was it? It was like 2 minutes and 20 seconds, something in that range. Carolina's punting. Chad Beebe's dumbass ball clanks off his freaking hands for muff punt. They recover it, and I literally was like standing in place for like 30 seconds. I couldn't even move. I was like, what just happened? Why? Because Kirk and company had just gone right down the field and, you know, and scored to make it 24-21. And then, we didn't stop him right away, but we stopped him with enough time. And so we're getting the ball back, and it's like, okay, we only got one timeout, but we got 2-minute warning. We got a chance, and we only need a field goal. And I know, that's been a bone of contention with people in Kirk Cousins this season because there have been a couple times where they've had chance with the offense to go down and get a score, including last week, and they couldn't do it. And so, Kirk sucks, and he's a bum, and he can't do it. And I felt like that whole chance was just ripped away. Like why? um, like, and of course, a special teams mistake because I mean, I might be going on this for a while, but the special teams again today. I don't know what's going on. Even in the win, I think they might want to change their special teams coach because that guy, I don't know what he's telling them during the week, but yeah, so and he muffs the punt, and we stop him because we got a one timeout and a 2-minute warning, so you get two stops to collect there, and then they throw a pass. They try to Teddy threw a pass to the end zone, and it was incomplete, and so it's like, we end up with, like a minute 50, something like that. Instead, we would have had, barely over a minute, and then they still kick the field goal, and it's a 6-point game. So it's like, we got to drive the length of the field. That's tougher to do the less time you have. And credit to Carolina on this because they did help us a few times today where they were just running down our throats just like Dallas did. And then they just inexplicably would just stop running for a couple plays. And they would throw some passes and they'd be incomplete. And then the punt, or in the last case, they only get a field goal with, a minute 50 left or whatever. They helped us out on some of these things. I don't follow the Panthers, but I imagine their fans are not too happy with their coach and some of their play calling. But and then we get the ball and it's just bing, bing, bing. Like they hit like 2-3 big passes. They even ran once or twice, I think. And it's just like it's happened so fast. I can't get over how fast it happened. Like he hits the pass to Rudolph down to the 10. I'm like, wait a minute. We might actually do this. Like, not that I watch these games where it's at the end of the game and they get the ball with a chance, and I think, oh, Kirk's gonna blow it. Like I believe in Kirk. It's not about believing or not believing in Kirk. It's just the season has it's just been rip your heart from your chest at every turn, just about. And we did win a couple close games, but I mean, obviously the losses stick with you more than the wins, and we still have more losses than wins. So, um, and then score. It's BB. Like I wanted BB murdered like 5 minutes in real time earlier than this. I wanted Chad BB, fitted with cement shoes and dropped in the lake, and now he catches the game-winning touchdown. It's like you talk about redemption. Like that's like instant redemption. I saw someone even make a point already that um, oh, that he was strategically muffed the punt because if he didn't muff the punt, then when we get the ball, we play conservative and just play for the field goal and go to OT and lose. I don't think that's how it was, but it's fun. It's funny. And then Teddy hits the deep ball to close to midfield, missing. Harrison Smith misses a game-ending interception by inches, and you're like, oh god, here we go. But they missed the kick, and it wasn't even close. Like that was like not even a close kick. And it's like, where was that against Tennessee? But I mean, would it have killed Gostkowski to miss one? But he missed the kick, and we got a blocked field goal earlier in the game too. I forget what point that was in the game. Oh, that was when it was 21-10. And it was 21-10. We had punted. They had driven down. And you think, oh, God, they're just going to... This field goal is just not going to mean much because it's just going to be like, okay, we're going to lose anyway at this point because everything's going violently against us. And DJ Wanham broke through and blocked a punt. And you're like, oh, okay. Well, maybe that's not going to mean anything. Turns out that was a very, very important play. Because they have that extra 3 in there, then that muff punt is the game. And, you look at it, it's like that was a play like fairly early in the third quarter still, and that gave you the chance. But for the overwhelming majority of this game, it looked like just fucking heartbreaking, terrible loss. I mean, they didn't play well today. They really didn't. Like last week, I was really pissed at them because I was pissed. I was pissed because of the refs, but the run defense was also bad. Today, really everything was bad until really the last few minutes. Because the offense had a really nice first drive. We had that thing again with Kubiak where the first drive is good, and then everything else is bad for a while. But we went down the field. Kirk hit Jefferson for a touchdown. We're up 7-0. It's like, okay, we're doing good. And then the offense was just awful, really, for most of the rest of the game, really. Never got the run game going. And then Cook got hurt. I mean, okay, the start of the second half. Or I do want to mention the drive right before the half. Which everyone was bitching about online. I don't. Week after week, these fans, they don't understand how 2-minute drills work. And they had tied the game. They had hit a terrible. It's just they caught a really bad mismatch. It was I forget. I don't know the Panthers' names. Their slot receiver, he's on Ifeadi Odenigbo, and I don't even want to attempt to repeat what Jonathan Vilma pronounced it as. It was like if Eddie Odenigbo or something. I don't know. Jonathan Vilma. Can we please not have any more games with Jonathan freaking Vilma of Bounty Gate fame as our color commentator? But they hit a touchdown. It was like a slant. It was like 40-yard touchdown. It was just a terrible play. It tied the game up. We go down. We get the ball. We go down. It was a pretty good 2-minute drill. It got a little sloppy at the end, and we just missed on a touchdown. Kirk threw a real nice pass to Jefferson in the end zone. Just missed. There may have been some pass interference. I didn't think the refs were bad today, so I don't have too much to complain about with the refs, but but we got a field goal. barely hit the field goal, and we went half up, and we're up. And then third quarter is just again happened so fast. Like you thought that little disaster in the third quarter against Seattle was fast, where they scored 3 touchdowns in like 4 or 5 minutes. They just had nothing on this one. First offensive series, Kirk gets fucking destroyed, just absolutely destroyed. But drops the ball. He can't drop the ball, Kirk. But I mean, he was just murdered on this play, and touchdown Chiefs here as I'm watching. Chiefs are doing their job. We'll get to the implications for the Vikings on this. Um, oh yeah, so Kirk gets destroyed on this. Just they just blitz the hell out of our offensive line. Offensive line was very bad today. Um, drops the ball. It's picked up, run back for a touchdown. Just like that, it's 14-10 Carolina. Next series, it's even worse because I forget what down it was. Cook has the ball. He gets, big pile up. The ball squirts out. Same fucking guy for Carolina picks the ball up, runs it back for another touchdown. 21-10, and Dalvin Cook is hurt. Like he had to be like helped off the field. He was so injured. Now he did come back, but I'll be curious how during the week what the status is with him. So, I mean, we're like maybe 2 minutes into the second half, and it's 21-10 Panthers. Like, and they hadn't snapped the ball on offense in the second half, and they had scored 2 touchdowns and had a 11-point lead. And it's just like you don't even have time to process this. Like the fucking season just ended. Like you just got back to back defensive touchdowns on you, and you're fucked. Like that's over. And then I really thought it was over the next drive because that was the drive where they had a 4th and 1, and I thought they were gonna go for it at like their own 45 ish, and they punted, and I'm like, oh god, why are you like you need to get momentum back? You gotta go for it there. They didn't. They punted. Carolina drives down. That's when they got the wanted field goal block, and but it never really the Vikings never got back. They never felt like they got back in control of this game. They got down there after the field goal block. They got a field goal themselves. Obviously, hoping for more than a field goal, but okay, kick field goals. It's a it's a it's a one-score game again. But then I think the next drive was when Teddy hit his one big deep ball in the whole game, and um, they got the field goal right back. So it's like boom, it's like 24-13 now, and it's like, oh. And at this point, it's like, you know, all the mistakes, all the injuries, the guys you didn't have today. It's not even injuries with Thielen, and it's just all this shit that's just piled on. It's just piled and piled on, you know. And you're done. You've lost the game. You've lost the seconds of these home games that you had to probably win all three, but for sure win. You know, for sure win two, and it's over. And it wasn't over. Like you know, Kirk, like Kirk deserves. Look, I'm a Kirk guy. I'm always gonna be a Kirk guy. This was this was this was like a heroic effort by him because the offensive line today was terrible. Like this was like I didn't think they missed Cleveland that much last week. Like I thought the offensive line was okay. It was really noticeable today. The offensive line was bad. There were plays where like we had two guys blocking someone and neither one could block the guy. Carolina's defense is not rock bottom, but they're not great, and we were just getting destroyed. We never got the run game going. Kirk was under pressure a lot. I think he maybe only had like 1 or 2 sacks though, because Kirk was good. Like all the shit Kirk gets for not being mobile quarterback, he was mobile today. He was moving around pretty damn well. He even had the one play he pulled a Favre where he threw the ball over the line of scrimmage, which was kind of funny. But it's like he was out there. He was improvising. He was making plays. He was really doing it. And you know, I don't know what his stat line ended up being, but I guess he would have had 3 touchdowns, right? Um, he played a fantastic game, and he played a fantastic game really the whole way through. But he played his absolute best football at the end of the game. I mean, you can say what you want about the Carolina Panthers. They're playing for their season too, and they're not. They're on our level. I mean, and they don't have a rock bottom defense, and your season is literally on the line. Like if Kirk doesn't get it done on those last 2 drives for touchdowns, that's it. Like you've lost, and the season is academic. You have nothing left to play for. And he came through, and I hope he gets the credit. He won't get the credit because nobody ever gets. Like it was amazing watching the the negative fans, the Vikings fans pour in after those 2 touchdowns by Carolina in the third quarter. It's like, oh, where were you in the first half? Where were you the last month when we were winning most of the time? Um, you know, it was just getting it was getting very, very negative, and it should be negative because your season is on the line and you're getting beat at home by the Carolina Panthers, and by getting beat by your former quarterback. And Teddy wasn't. Like I like Teddy. I will always root for Teddy. He wasn't anything special today. This was just very pedestrian Teddy stuff. Um, the the one long touchdown was nothing special, um, and of course that was the only offensive touchdown that he only put up. One touchdown on offense. My head is completely gone to the side. I'm just gonna say to hell with it. Um, um, but yeah, Teddy was nothing special today. So, but it wasn't a good game from the defense either. Um, you look at the the numbers and everything. Like, oh well, you only gave up 13 points then on defense. It wasn't a good defensive game. They tackled like shit. They did not. They did not play well. It's kind of misleading. Like like even in the second half, they were just struggling to get off the field because they couldn't tackle. It was just not a good game. I think obviously it helps that Christian McCaffrey didn't play. If he plays, you know, you probably don't win. But if Adam Thielen plays, maybe you win easier. So it's not like the Vikings are playing shorthanded. But so yeah, um, so yeah, Teddy was okay, but Kirk outplayed him, and this is, you know, I'm kind of torn because I like Teddy and I liked him when he was here, and I wish things had worked out with him here, but I'm very happy that Kirk Cousins is here. Like everyone jumped down his throat again last week because he didn't get it done right at the end, but it's like, well, the defense blew two different leads. It's like Kirk played very well. Kirk played one of his best games certainly of this season last week, and he played very well again today. I mean, given the circumstances and the way he led 2 touchdown drives late, you probably have to say this was his best game. Um, and I think that you also have to say definitely was his best because he was not getting any help from the offensive line. They were bad today. He wasn't getting any help, or not much help from the running game because you know they were running and they weren't. I'm okay with them sticking with the run because you got to stick with the run because if you don't, if you just then you turn into the John D. Filippo offense and you're just getting Kirk killed. But I don't have a problem with them sticking with the run, because you know we've seen how it works. You stick with the run of the first half, then stuff starts to open up in the second half. And that didn't work today, but Cook got hurt in the beginning of the second half, so they didn't run there very much. Hell, Kirk probably. I wouldn't be surprised if Kirk was their leading rusher. He had a couple nice scrambles today too, amongst everything else. Um, um, but you know, it's kind of what they talk about with Kirk. Like, if everything else is kind of breaking down around him, can he rise to the occasion? And I think he did. Like, I think he did the whole game even. Um, and I hope he gets the credit for it. He won't, because the same people who hate Kirk Cousins, who hated Kirk Cousins at noon today, are going to hate him, hours later. It's just how it is. Um, but like, he did exactly what you want him to do. Like, that's why you get a guy like Kirk Cousins. And I'm not saying Kirk Cousins is the only quarterback who could do it. Maybe there's guys in the draft coming up who could do it. I'm not saying that, but the guy you got now is Kirk Cousins, and he's very good. And he struggled a big time earlier in the season. Like, he had a couple games where he was terrible. He had turnovers. Now he's had fumbles the last 2 weeks, but I mean, like, you can't put the ball on the ground, but some of that is just like you're getting destroyed immediately. Like, keep your quarterback clean. Like, he hasn't thrown an interception now since Atlanta game maybe. Um, and it's like, or no, he had one. He had one interception since then. It was that one that Thielen fucked up. I can't remember which game that was, but like, Kirk is playing great football since the bye, and we saw it now today. He you know, no, he can't do it every week. He can't lead a game-winning touchdown drive every single week against every single team. Nobody can. Maybe Patrick Mahomes can. Maybe Aaron Rodgers can. Um, you know, but most quarterbacks can't. Most good quarterbacks can't just. You can't just say, "Okay, we're down a score with 2 minutes left. Go win the game." It isn't that simple. And who knows? Maybe Jefferson catches that ball, started that drive last week. Maybe he does go down and win. But you know, like, he got it done, and their season was on the line. Like, you could say, "Oh, you're just playing Carolina. You're just you know," but this was season on the line stuff here for the Vikings today. They lose this game, which most of the way it looked like they were going to lose this game. You're 4-7, and there's no discussion to play. The P word doesn't exist anymore in this dojo, because you're done. Like, because at that point, you know, there's you would have lost back-to-back games at home to losing teams. You have no case for the playoffs at all. And they played terrible today, so maybe they don't still have a chance for the playoffs. But the math tells you that they do have a chance for the playoffs, because the New England Patriots, and I've always been a big Patriots fan, yes. Um, no, but I'm a Patriots fan today because they pull off the upset. They beat the Cardinals. Um, and as I speak, Chiefs are up 17-0 on Tom Brady and company. And for what it's worth, the Bears are playing at Green Bay tonight, and the Bears are probably going to lose. So, you got a chance to leave now. You got a chance to do what I was hoping would happen this week. You know, it's all lining up for the Vikings at the moment, which is amazing considering where we were with uh, about 5 minutes left in this game today, and then again with about 2.5 minutes left in this game. Um, so it's right there again now. Obviously, what we saw today from the Vikings, and like I said, the Vikings did not play well today. Like, they escaped with one for sure. Kirk played great. Defense was not good. I mean, Kendrick's got his weekly interception. Um, I don't know if we got sacks or not. We might have gotten one, but like we really struggled with the pass rush again. Obviously, the run game or run defense was bad. You know, I can't off the top of my head think of who Jacksonville's running back is, but you know, at the point it's like you got what you got for personnel. Um, but you know, and the defense has not been as good the last couple weeks. So, and well, the Saints are blowing out Denver. Denver has no quarterback, so that's not a surprise. But the Saints are not a factor. Saints are way beyond where we're gonna be, um, unless we get in the playoffs. Then the Saints might have to face us again. We know how that goes. But man, Mahomes is just cutting through Tampa Bay like knife through butter. It's amazing. It's beautiful to see. Um, but I mean, it's playoff hopes are back on the menu, boys. They are, because it's just like coming in the week. You win these two, Kansas City takes care of business. You are playing for a playoff position next week, and you might be anyway because the Cardinals lost. I don't know who the Cardinals play next week. I know the Cardinals have to play the Rams a couple times still. Um, you know, are the Vikings deserving of a playoff spot? I mean, you can't. I can't watch what they put out there today and say, okay, they're deserving of a playoff spot. But they fucking fight, man. They are a gut. This is a gutty team. That's why the whole talk about, oh, you gotta fire Zimmer, they're not playing for him, bullshit. Like they're fucking fighting for him. They're and they're fighting with Kirk. They're not like, oh, we don't like Kirk. We're gonna just, we don't like Kirk. We want him out of here. No, they're fighting. This team has a lot of fight, and it doesn't always work. It still hasn't worked more times than it's worked because they're still just 5-6. But they're gonna have a chance if they can just, unless something miraculous happens in this Chiefs game, and unless they bungle this Jaguar game next week, they're gonna be playing for something like very legitimate now, playoff position here in 2 weeks, and like I'm not putting it past them. I mean, fuck, they won a game today where they made a ton of mistakes, and they didn't. And they're working with this patchwork defense. They didn't have Thielen. They didn't have Irv Smith. They didn't have Ezra Cleveland. Dalvin Cook's hurt. He misses a big chunk of the game, although he did come back, so hopefully he'll be okay. Um, you're muffing punts. You're committing penalties. Chris Boyd had penalties again. Um, you know, you made a lot of mistakes, but you came back. You gutted it out. And yeah, I mean, sure. You also need the kick at the end to go wide. Well, guess what? Those never fucking happened for us. We were due one of those. Okay. Both ways with kicks by us and against us that have gone against us so many times in so many games over the years. Like we earned one once in a while. Okay, I'm sure we'll have a bad kick somewhere along the way, but you know long story short, and this is a very long story because I've been talking for almost half an hour. It's still all there for the Vikings. Improbably, miraculously, they gutted it out. They got a couple breaks, but they had breaks go against them too. So, you know, and they're gonna go into December alive. And will they exit December alive? I don't know. But looks like Mahomes just fumbled, but it's 17-0. So hopefully that keeps going. All right. Mahomes is human. It's all right. See, quarterbacks fumble occasionally. It does happen. But So yeah, um, really, really exhilarating win today. I'm so happy. I'm so happy for Kirk that he got to get one of these. You know, and he's had comeback wins before with the Vikings, but this was real season on the line stuff, and he got it done. And we got a kick that sailed wide. It was a long kick, but you know, you got to get some luck along the way. If you're 4-6 and you're trying to still get into the playoffs, that's you're gonna need some breaks, and we got some breaks today, and we made a lot of our own breaks. So hopefully, Chiefs finish it off, and we get that Jacksonville win next week, and you know, sure looked like this was going to be a different type of video with about 5 minutes left, but I'm very glad things didn't work. That things worked out differently. But Skull 5-6. We ain't dead yet.